In this video, in a surprising and shocking turn of events, the Daihatsu needs welding.
What?
I know, it's just astonishing. So we're here at Whiteland Restorations, where they are not going to weld up our car. We are going to do it.
Anybody else scared?
Yeah, there's a welding trolley here. I don't know what it does, but it's going to be fun finding out.
This is a fantastic start.
Yeah.
What is this?
We don't know.
I don't know.
In terms of where the hole is, it is here. I built my own mud flap this morning to cover it up, which has worked semi-well to try and keep it a bit dry and keep some of the muck out of it. But that is where our hole is. It is quite sizable. I can get 2 fingers in there. Please. Yeah, as it's right near a suspension mount, we would prefer that to not have holes in it. I think this was identified by Tim at Cambrian Classics the last time Shemi was there. So we're going to do some welding practice and then get the wheel off so we can have a proper look.
That wasn't an innuendo laugh, that was a despairing laugh.
Oh, despairing. Lewis is currently smashing the place up because he's so happy to be helping us. But yeah, it should be an interesting experience.
It's like another hubnut car, for God's sake.
So this is going to be a 2-part video doing something a bit different. We are going to learn how to weld. I've already done a little bit before, just on some practice metal, so we're both going to do a bit more of that before we're let loose on the car itself. And you'll be able to see how we actually do on the car welding on Whiteland Restorations channel. So it's going to be fun, folks. We're going to learn a lot, hopefully.
I'm scared.
What is he doing? I'm terrified. Okay, I did do some welding. What was that, a couple of months ago?
Yeah, with the Australian Fords.
Yeah, my first weld was not on the car. I did a little practice.
But it was all right. It penetrated fully, which is good.
So that's what we're aiming for today. We're going to do a little bit more practice. Miss Hubnut is behind camera, having a good watch, but not watching the spark. And we'll then have a go herself. Because it's your car, dear.
Bit of practice, and then, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So there we go. Some metal and a welder.
Okay. So what sort of gauge are we on here?
This is the same sort of thickness as normal car metal.
Okay.
About 1 millimetre, slightly under, 0.9 if you want to be really specific. Very easy to shape, very easy to weld if you've got the right kind of welder.
Well, this is the key thing. Normally, I'm starting from a slightly privileged position of being able to use your welder. Yeah. Which is quite a nice welder.
It is a very good welder. It's a Lorch, and it is very, very good at welding cars up, fortunately.
And another thing I would say, I did try many years ago to weld. One of the other key changes is helmets. Yeah. Auto dimming
helmet. I mean,
whereas with the old helmet, you couldn't see through it. So you put the mask down and you're like, well, where am I welding?
And you have to learn the welder's flick to get your helmet down and don't bloody move whilst you're doing the old flick.
So me trying to weld didn't go well, but maybe with some actual professional tuition, I can get somewhere, or we can get somewhere.
We've already started, so as long as you can sort of remember half of what we did last time, I'm sure we'll be all right. Yeah, so we've got a few bits of metal. I'll do a quick run and talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and then you can have a crack.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So the welder's set up. Well, the welder's very good. I don't know if you want to come over and film. The welder's set up. It's got different gauge material here. Yeah. So we've set it to 1 millimetre. If it's blowing out when we start welding the car, if the rust has taken away way too much of the material, we can...
Oh no, the welding goggles.
We can turn it down to 0.8 or 0.7, very thin. But yeah, so we'll just leave
0.7 is probably 2CV.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or MX-5 chassis. We've got nice, fresh, clean steel, which is a luxury when you're welding cars. So that's very good.
Super. And how do you end up setting things like, can you adjust gas flow, wire speed? Is it all just experience?
Gas flow, I tend to do it by sound if you can hear it, because there's no wind in this workshop to blow it away. And it's very small welding. So if I can hear it, then there's plenty. That's a bit too much gas, I would say. Especially as my gauges are a bit dodgy. And wire feed is all done automatically. So if you go up one, the wire feed will go up to the thickness required. Also, you can fine tune it. So you can go less wire feed or more wire feed if you desire, like if you're welding upside down, you need more wire to counteract gravity, because as soon as that ball of metal starts, it's melting back faster than you're shoving the weld up. So yeah, that's how you set that up.
So what are we actually doing? What is the tip? The wire itself is touching where you're making the joint?
It doesn't quite touch. It actually melts before it gets there.
Okay.
And then it sort of, the electricity sort of melts all of this lot, and it sort of fires it all together. I'm sure there are far more technical ways to explain.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get more technical than I even understand. But.
We just need to learn to actually physically do it. You don't need much. About 6 mil of wire sticking out would be more than enough. And so try and get the metal nice and tight. Put a decent first tack down. You want a slightly longer trigger hold for the first tack, because everything's so cold, you need to get the heat transferred into the metal. Once you've started that, you can use slightly less time per pull on the trigger.
But yeah, you're not trying to seam weld.
Oh God, no. If
with
I'd
this
have
sort of thinness
done a long bead like that, it would just melt everything out of the way. It's way too much heat. Plus the distortion, if you're welding body panels together, the distortion would be horrendous. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a nice tack on each end. And so once you've done the tack, you need to sort of aim at the end of the tack for the next tack, so to speak. This is sort of tack welding. Yeah, so and so on, like that. It's kind of kind of get into it. If you can look at the weld for a sec, you can kind of see it starts out cold, and then as it gets on, it gets hotter, and it flows out way better. Also, the penetration starts going right through the material, whether it's at the start it didn't. It's bloody hot, that. But it's basically that simple, that straightforward, and that easy.
That's simple, folks. What could possibly go wrong?
If you're good with
we do have fire extinguishers on standby, don't we?
Oh yeah, it's right behind us. Literally. Yeah. Now, if you're good with a cork gun, you can weld.
No. Have you done any caulking? No.
No. Oh dear.
Oh dear. It's going to be a useful skills in more ways than one then. So learn welding, and then you can seal up your bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't actually want to touch.
No, you don't need to touch them. Hold it about there. That would be about right. Aim directly onto the where the metals are overlapping, and squeeze the trigger. You want about a 1.5 seconds burst, maybe, for the first one. Okay.
It's my finger on the trigger. Can't feel anything in the gloves, but one has to be prepared. Bit too short.
A little bit.
Oh, I think I left a gap there.
I mean, that's welded.
It is welded. It's not quite as pretty as your welding.
But you've got penetration.
Yeah. We can see that all the way through.
You see, Carly? It's not much different to that. But you can see here plenty of heat into it.
I find it quite difficult to focus on it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to focus on it through the mask is the tricky bit.
Now, are you overlapping the...
Ever so slightly, yeah. If
okay, so they're not touching, they're actually slightly overlapping.
Yeah, if I get a pen, I can draw it down for you. Right, so if that's your join line, yeah? Your first blob needs to go sort of there.
Yeah.
And then you need to aim here for your second one, so which
right
will then
on the edge of the next one
overlap, and then again there, which overlaps, and then you get quite a consistent bead and a more consistent penetration when you get more heat into it.
Yeah. So on a car, obviously, would you possibly end up doing what we're kind of doing here, where you might be going in two different places? So you tack it round.
I tend to say, if this is your join line on a much larger scale, I would tend to tack every 6mm or so, but then do it sporadically.
Okay.
And then join them up. And then I would start on one end and do 3, and then use an airline to cool it.
Ah.
To stop that distortion spreading, to stop that heat spreading any further, and then do another 3, and then cool it again.
Okay.
A little bit closer with the torch.
Closer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Stop for a second.
Okay. Better?
Hold the torch up a bit.
Up. Okay.
Like that. Better. A little bit more. You're missing the...
Yeah, I'm missing the...
That's it, just to correct.
Mm-hmm.
You're
missed it again.
pulling further away every weld. Try and get the lance a bit closer to the metal.
Better, but not quite.
A bit closer with the lance.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Right on top of it.
Right on top of it?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, hold on. That's a better weld. You missed slightly.
Yep.
There we go.
Right.
A little bit further to me, I think.
Further to you?
Weld on the bottom plate rather than the top plate.
Okay.
I'll get the lance closer again. So
Yep.
Is it getting hot?
No. Oh, flipping heck. Right. Close.
Getting there.
Better.
We need to be welding a little bit closer
Whoa.
to this side. Hold on, let's start with a fresh. Oh, beautiful. More of them, please. Bit closer to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Very good. Stop there for a second.
That's better.
There we go. We found it.
Oh, lovely.
Let's just check. Look at that. That's a good weld. You got penetration through the metal.
Stuff.
Beautiful.
Let's try a different method. Let's try butt welding, end to end butt welding like that.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly more tricky because there's not a big chunk of metal underneath to absorb the heat.
Right, so quite easy to blow it out.
Much easier to blow it out. This is when holding it down for as long as you like to let the heat into it doesn't really work because it's going to just melt away. So let's try that. Line them up as best you can. Get them nicely lined up.
Yep.
And give them a tack. I mean, vertically lined up.
Okay, so try and make sure that yeah, got you, because there's a bit of a spring.
Yeah, so hold them down, give them a tack.
So I got the joy of trying to bridge and trying to, yeah. Looks like a tack.
It looks like it's taken.
Oh, where am I going to put my second one in? That would seem to be attached.
Very nice.
I haven't blown a hole in anything. Excellent.
Give it a tack in the middle because this method's going to be more prone for the metal to warp away from each other.
Yep.
So give it a tack in the middle, just a bit of brace.
Right, so a bit of better illumination so I can see what's going on. There we go, did that. Oh, I almost welded it to the table.
Oh dear. There we go.
Yeah, that was definite penetration. So you can definitely see the welds through on the other side.
Right, give it a zip up.
Right, here we go. My spacing, I would say, is too
Sparse.
spaced.
But are they attached?
They are attached. Really,
Really nice
some
to see with the
penetration.
when it's a butt weld, you get a lot more penetration.
Yeah, you kind of see the distortion. You can kind of feel it now, can't you? Well, let's show the camera. So that is my welder. As you can see, I'm just a bit too spaced out. There's gaps in places, and you do want a continuous weld, and the penetration a little mix. I think I was just starting to get a bit of a rhythm going on towards the end.
Yeah, I've seen much worse welding on cars.
You can see how this is starting to curve now as the heat sort of bends the metal.
Bit longer.
Shall I go over the same bit?
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Better.
Look at
You
them.
can really hear a good weld, can't
Yeah.
you?
It's stacking dimes, that is.
Yeah, look at that.
And you're
Lovely.
right, you do get into the rhythm of it, don't you?
You do.
Just want to flip
Oh,
it.
look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt the need to grip my teeth though.
I'll
You're
grab it
clenching, aren't you?
quite far from the weld.
You-
Let's see what the penetration is like. It's our word of the
Oh, look at that.
day. Yeah. Good stuff.
Look at this one, saying things like penetration, no innuendo.
No, none.
Nobody
None.
is
No.
giggling.
Nobody.
I'm giggling inside.
Yeah, internal giggles, it's fine.
Right then, so we can look at our welds. That was my first weld. Some nice penetration there. How did your first weld
My
go?
first weld didn't go so well, but as I now understand, this is because I was moving away and there's too much wire. So you get what's affectionately known as pigeon poo.
Pigeon poo.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But
This has got the
it
penetration.
got better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got better on the second attempt.
It's got a lot better.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot better. I'll have to shout.
Yeah.
A lot better.
And
But yeah, I think when we come to the second weld, I think you're well ahead. I think you can see mine.
Well-
I'm just too spaced out. So I'm not getting each weld close enough to the one before. I got better. A little wibbly wobbly. But that's better, and importantly, good penetration. So a nice solid joint.
that is good. That is tidy. So I started off not well. Again, I was moving away. My reflex is to move away. So I made sure when I did it again that I didn't do that. So my tack was a little bit short, as you can see. But and then I
Yeah,
kinda
after that,
stacked them up
beautiful.
quite
Them
tidy.
dimes be stacked.
Yes, and we got some nice penetration going on. So I'm chuffed with that. Very chuffed with it.
So next stage, we are going to get Shemi on the ramp and have a look at just how bad things are. And then when it comes to actually remedying it, you'll be able to see that on the Whiteland Restoration channel. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Let's get Shemi on the ramp.
Boy. Look at her.
There's no weight to it. A bit lighter than the Volvo.
She's so teeny.
Passenger side. Okay, so we've got Shemi on the ramp, and things are already going well, I think. Here's our hole.
Leave it to us to find more rust, eh?
Yeah,
We haven't got
Look at this.
form for that.
yeah. This was unexpected. Oh, that is soft.
Yeah, that's right near.
Right near the spring
And
mount. Yeah.
So we'll have to put a bit of welding into that.
Joys. The joys.
It's only more welding.
Yeah, it's very true. And we're here welding anyway, so yeah, let's get it done. Right, noise alert. It has to get worse before it gets better.
And look at that beauty.
That is a method of torture. Look at it.
That'll do it.
Woo. I'm staying well back. What was that?
Oh.
Oh. I mean, it's only a mounting point for something brake related. It's not important. A bit of gaffer tape, cable tie or
No,
two?
no, Ian, no.
No. Oh.
Oops.
Why do we never learn? Oh, we just got one hole that needs welding up.
Well, technically, it's now only 2 holes that need welding up.
Oh yeah, it is a little hole up there. Yeah. Marvellous. That's a handy tool though, because it's less aggressive than an angle grinder. So for this initial work of assessing it, it's very handy. And now we run away and cry. Yeah, marvellous. So follow on to see how we actually repair this, but we are still hoping to weld it up ourselves with the assistance of Lewis and Leanne here. But yeah, you'll have to go and check out their channel for that one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you for watching. We're trying not to despair too much, but we also have to say hello to Steph iDriver Classic, because she's doing exactly the same with one of her cars today. So it's that season again. Of course, Matt with his Crown Vic.
I know, but he's seeing positive stuff.
Yeah, I'm loving the noises.
I'm not loving the noises.
Yeah.
Leanne's doing the shop
Yeah.
faces now.
Anyway, yeah, so check out Whiteland Restoration's channel and we'll find out how on earth we're going to repair it. Bye.
Oh, so
Trying to advertise. And inside here, things have got crazy. We've just discovered this area of complete chaos. So some very smart fabrication is going to be needed to sort that mess out.